George Mason, who had captured the nation's imagination by making an improbable run to the Final Four as an 11 seed, ran into a Florida team that had heard quite enough about Cinderella. Said Corey Brewer, it's time to kiss Cinderella and send her home. And they pretty much smashed a glass slipper over her head on her way out. George Mason's players fired up. Larinaga and Donovan, a couple of Providence grads, head-to-head, but Florida came out smoking. Corey Brewer will pull up three.
I'll tell you one thing, they were knocking down the threes all night long. The three-point shot was certainly the difference in their defense as well.
But late in the first half, George Mason got a run, a couple of acrobatic shots, including that one from Tony Skinn. He finished with 13. Mason within 2. 100 minutes to go in a half. Torian Green with 3. He had 11 in the first half. But in the second half, that's where Lee Humphrey came out and fired.
He comes out in that second half. They go on a 12-2 run, and it's all his points hitting those threes. He was really hot, makes 6 on the night out of 12. 19 points. He was the difference. He's the MVP.
Gators pushed the lead to 11, and then Jay inside Joakim Noah.
Well, Joakim Noah had another terrific game, running the floor, blocking shots, being a presence inside. I thought the inside play was terrific. The inside-out interaction, getting open shots, and that's what opened it up for a lot of those three-point opportunities for Florida.
Florida hit 12 threes. Brewer finished with 19, and Cinderella, the clock strikes midnight, and Joakim Noah hop aboard Noah's Ark because the Gators are going to the national championship game. 73-58 over George Mason. It was quite a run for the Patriots, but it comes to an end against the Gators.
You changed the face of college basketball. And it was an amazing run. Unfortunately, it had to come to an end, but it's definitely history.
One of the greatest parts about this trip was we didn't put any pressure on ourselves. No one created the expectation except us that we were going to continue to play the best basketball we could, no matter who we played.
Played excellent basketball to make it to Indianapolis, but George Mason's season ends in much the same way that the other 11 seed to make it to the Final Four, LSU, 20 years ago, their season ended the same way. They beat a 1 seed in the Elite Eight by a dose, and then in the Final Four, lost by double figures. Once upon a time, Billy Donovan got hot from 3 and shot his Providence Friars into the Final Four. These Gators took another step with another hot shooting guard, Lee Humphrey, who made the old Billy the Kid proud by nailing a season-high tying 6 three-pointers.
I felt good the whole night shooting the ball. Coach always does a great job of telling me to instilling confidence in me and showing that the team has confidence in me as well. And I did feel good shooting the ball the second half.
Every time Lee shoots it, I think it's going in. You know, he's just that good of a shooter. And then when he gets it going, you could just tell by the way he releases it. Because every time he shoots it and he knows it's going in his head, he's like, that's good.
Reggie Miller wasn't playing. Good thing, or this thing might have really gotten ugly if those guys had been out on the floor. LSU are run to the Final Four on some great defense, but they found some great defense from the Bruins, Dick.
I'll tell you, did a great job stepping in a passing lane. Mute with the jam. He did a terrific job, the diaper dandy.
UCLA up 18, Aiden Bamute at 17. Jordan Farmar knocks down the 3. He had 3 of those. Bruins up by a dozen. Glenn Big Baby Davis, who's been so good in this tournament, Digger had trouble getting started.
Well, they really surrounded him. He goes 2 for 9 in the first half, 5 for 17 in the game. They just did a great job, double-team him and forcing him out of his game.
He's a guy who plays at the rim or below the rim. Said John Brady got a shot blocked there. 5 points on 2 of 9 shooting in the first half. Mute driving over Tyrus Thomas. He only played 17 minutes, had some foul trouble, and then in the second half, UCLA takes advantage of LSU's D.
Well, you can see Mbamute looking to set a screen, and the screener is usually the one that's wide open, and UCLA takes advantage of it. The point guard, or converted point guard, Cedric Bozeman, finding him. And here against the zone, you can see Aaron Aflalo coming off a screen down low, and when Mbamute flashes up top, that leaves Ryan Hollins wide open underneath for the lob.
The Hollins dose put the Bruins up by 20. Everything going their way. Farmar hits the 3. LSU didn't hit one the entire game. They were 0 for 6, and UCLA holds LSU to a mere 45 points, continuing their splendid run of defense. Bruins going to the title game after the 59-45 victory, and they're going there behind their D.
I thought our intensity defensively for the entire 40 minutes was really, really incredible. That's the best defense we've played all year.
That's just the way we come out and play defense. They don't do the things that they normally do. You know, they're looking at each other, pointing fingers. Sometimes eyes get real big, like deer in the headlights, like they don't know what hit them.
I never seen this coming. You know, I never seen this type of game coming, especially the kind of team we are and the kind of character we have. But, you know, you never say never. You know, they came out and they just punched us.
UCLA's points per game allowed, 5th best, but all of those teams above them right there, or 5th best, the other 3 above them, back before there was a shot clock or a 3-point line. Old school Rockefeller money against the new school Cuban money. Turns out that new money spends just as easily as the old cash. That's another trophy that they'll give you. They'll also cut down the nets. Kareem won 3 titles for UCLA. Bill Walton won 2. UCLA going for his 12th overall. Joakim Noah with his dad Yannick, the '83 French Open champion, cheering him on as Billy Donovan, Ben Howland get their teams ready. Noah kicking it out to Corey Brewer for an early 3. He had 11, and Florida getting it done on both ends. Horford the block, Brewer running the floor.
I'll tell you one thing, they really got out in transition, and they really created a fast tempo.
And the great UCLA defense is still Florida, the best shooting team in the nation. The 3 and the foul for Humphrey.
I'll tell you, Humphrey was the X factor, made 10 threes in the Final 4.
Jordan Farmar trying to keep the Bruins in it single-handedly. He finished with 18. Bruins down by 8, but plenty of intimidation inside by the Gator D.
Well, both Al Horford and Chris Richard did a nice job. Adrian Moss came in defensively and did a nice job. But Joakim Noah, his block shot to start the ballgame was the intimidating factor for UCLA.
Aflalo going strong. Noah super you as Joakim with the block.
He was unbelievable. You look at how many 5 blocks in the first half, makes things happen when he needs it, knows how to guard, knows how to score. He was a difference, MVP.
Those 5 blocks in the first half, a championship game record. He still had the second half to go. 11-point lead for the Gators at the half. Second half, plenty of Gator offense as the Gators blocked his 10-shot and let it lead to offense on the other end. Humphrey hitting the pull-up. Florida up by 14. Still a 14-point game, and here comes Humphrey again. Bottom. 4 threes in the game, finished with 15. Florida up 17, and then Noah punching it.
I'll tell you one thing, that was the exclamation point. He was so emphatic.
And here is Alfred Aboya, a rare highlight moment for UCLA. The Cameroon Crazies had a reason to cheer for a while, but the Gators doing a terrific job breaking the press.
Great job, taking it to score, and they didn't panic. I think that's what just got Billy Donovan in position to say, look, easy points, fast break, get him when you want it on the fast break offense against the press.
And more Noah defense, who set a single tournament record with 29 blocks in this NCAA tournament, had 6 on the game. Torian Green,
doing a little showboating, but you know what? You got the gold trophy, handshakes, and Billy Donovan celebrating big time.
73-57 as Billy Donovan brings the national championship home to Florida as Joakim Noah celebrates with the Gator fans. Went up to reach his family in the stands, did a little chomp for the people out there, and Donovan raising the trophy as Billy D takes home the national championship. 73-57, UCLA denied for the second time in a national title game, both times coming here in Indianapolis, and this time it gives the Gators their first title.
We're sitting up here today as the national champions, but I still don't necessarily believe that we may be the best team in the country, because when you're playing in an event that's a one-shot deal, anything can happen. And I've been on the side of it where it's ended heartbreaking, and now I've been on the side of it where it's obviously just an incredible feeling.
At the end of the day, it's about winning it. I mean, it doesn't matter how many championships UCLA has, or it would have tasted. It would have been just as sweet if it was against anybody.
Florida was terrific. They're very, very well coached. They have outstanding players. And this is their night, and unfortunately for us, that's the case. But UCLA is going to be back.
UCLA will be back, and if you look at it from a historical perspective, all time it was an historical mismatch. But in the last 10 seasons, not so much. The program that Billy Donovan has built there, better winning percentage in UCLA, and an edge in virtually every category, including now national championships in the last 10 years.